I think, first of all, my heart goes out to every area that's been affected. Everybody in Los Angeles has been affected dramatically. Altadena is a really special community. On a personal note, we actually almost lived there because of the unique character. And I think one of the things that makes Altadena so special, it was one of the original communities in Los Angeles where families who were looking to escape racial barriers could build thriving communities. It's a proud African-American community going back to the Great Migration. It was one of the few places without the racial covenants that were so commonplace in Los Angeles. And as such, it became a bastion for families, for artists, for creatives, people like Willa Beatrice Brown, who was the first African-American woman in the United States to receive a commercial pilot's license, Charles White, the renowned artist. Essential institutions emerged like the Altadena Baptist Church, and it just was a really strong community. And going into Altadena, it was a diverse area, a lot of Latino people, Filipino people, but it was that sense of community. I mean, one of my favorite things, we went to Altadena every year to go to Christmas Tree Lane, which is the largest and oldest outdoor lighting festival in all of the United States and the world, going back to 1920 with those huge deodar trees that line Santa Rosa Avenue. And it just embodied the spirit of that community where people were independent yet together and supportive. And it wasn't just, lip service. It was something really special about Altadena. And that was also reflected in 2022. Altadena was the first place where the native indigenous Tongva people were able to reclaim the land, the first land that they were able to own in more than 200 years when there was a give back to the Tongva people. So, I mean, Altadena really is a special place, and it's so reflective of Los Angeles, which is really the most diverse city in the world. And going there, you just feel that spirit. And it's such a shame what happened, but I know people that are there and people that have been affected. And people are going back and people are going to build back, and just such an outpouring of support for a community that really was, in my opinion, under the radar. It's unfortunate that this is how it now becomes a little bit higher profile.
Right.
But, maybe that'll make people realize how special that history is and just the culture spanning the 150 plus years of Altadena.
And of course, Pacific Palisades, a bit high profile, but so much history there as well. What might viewers or even Angelenos not know or understand about these historic communities?
Look, I'll tell you something about Pacific Palisades that I didn't know until I started doing the research. First and foremost, one of the first movie studios in Los Angeles, Innsville, by Thomas Ince, one of the original film directors, was in Pacific Palisades. And that actually ended up becoming Lake Shrine. Luckily, Lake Shrine was saved, or was not drastically affected during the fires. But we always think of Hollywood as the epicenter, but really Pacific Palisades had one of the early studios. But another thing that I found really, really interesting about Pacific Palisades is that was a refuge for a lot of German and Austrian intellectuals and artists that had to flee from the Holocaust. So I didn't really know that was a bastion. Obviously, Los Angeles has a proud and strong Jewish community, but specifically Pacific Palisades is where a lot of the Holocaust survivors and people that fled the Holocaust ended up residing. So I think that that's a pretty special history as well that isn't necessarily one of the highest profile things about Pacific Palisades.
Fascinating stuff. Evan, I'm glad we got to talk to you for more than a minute.
Thank you. Absolutely. Glad to talk to you as well.
Thank you. If you'd like to hear more from Evan, follow LA in a Minute or subscribe to the In a Minute podcast wherever you listen.
Oh, Evan Lovett in LA, of LA, In a Minute. Thank you so much. It's really, I'm a fan of all of your minute broadcasts about LA.
We love this city. It's all about Los Angeles, man. The culture and the history are so strong and so proud. Thank you guys. We love KTLA.
You got that right. Evan, thank you. Your forecast coming up after the break.
Back in a moment.